Ezekiel chapter 42. Then he brought me forth into the outer court, the way toward the north, and he brought me into the chamber that was over against the separate place, and which was over against the building toward the north. Before the length of 100 cubits was the north door, and the breadth was 50 cubits. Over against the 20 cubits which belonged to the inner court, and over against the pavement which belonged to the outer court, was gallery against gallery in the third story. And before the chambers was a walk of 10 cubits breadth inward, a way of 1 cubit, and their doors were toward the north. Now the upper chambers were shorter, for the galleries took away from these more than from the lower and the middlemost in the building. For they were in 3 stories, and they had not pillars as the pillars of the court. Therefore the uppermost was withdrawn more than the lowest, and the middlemost from the ground. And the wall that was without, by the side of the chamber, toward the outer court, before the chambers, the length thereof was 50 cubits. For the length of the chambers that were in the outer court was 50 cubits, and lo, before the temple were 100 cubits. And from under these chambers was the entry on the east side, as one goeth into them from the outer court. In the thickness of the wall of the court toward the east, before the separate place, and before the building, there were chambers. And the way before them was like the appearance of the way of the chambers which were toward the north. According to their length, so was their breadth, and all their egresses were both according to their fashions, and according to their doors. And according to the doors of the chambers that were toward the south, was a door at the head of the way, even the way directly before the wall toward the east, as one entereth into them. Then said he to me, The north chambers and the south chambers, which are before the separate place, they are the holy chambers, where the priests that are near to Yahweh shall eat the most holy things. There shall they lay the most holy things, and the grain offering, and the sin offering, and the culpability offering, for the place is holy. When the priests enter in, then shall they not go out of the holy place into the outer court, but there they shall lay their garments wherein they serve, for they are holy, and they shall put on other garments, and shall approach to that which pertaineth to the people. Now when he had made an end of measuring the inner house, he brought me forth by the way of the gate whose prospect is toward the east, and measured it round about. He measured on the east side with the measuring reed 500 reeds, with the measuring reed round about. He measured on the north side 500 reeds, with the measuring reed round about. He measured on the south side 500 reeds, with the measuring reed. He turned about to the west side, and measured 500 reeds, with the measuring reed. He measured it on the 4 sides. It had a wall round about, the length 500, and the breadth 500, to make a separation between that which was holy and that which was common.